How you doing, folks? And Happy New Year, Happy 2020. I hope you had a great 2019 and an even better 2020 of the new year. I'm going to talk a little bit about the shelf setup on a flat shelf where it has no radius, no nothing, just dead flat. This is a 1967 and a half Bear Grizzly. It's 50 pounds. Uh, and I got Velcro for a rug and a side plate. It's industrial strength that I got from CVS or Walgreens, Walmart. You can get it about anywhere. But what I did by instead of my whole area of contact in the whole shelf, I added something underneath, which you can see. I think there you go. See that piece of leather right there at my index finger, which is I doubled it because it was thin and and it's not real stiff, so I just cut a long enough piece to double it to get a little bit more thickness out of it, and to create a tiny hump on top of my shelf. So when I put an arrow, when this thing's strung up, put an arrow on it, it's only contacting not even quite a whole centimeter. You know, it's probably more or less like a millimeter it's covering, that it's actually touching the shelf. So what that kind of does is keeps the arrow with minimum contact with your rug or rest or whatever, and it kind of gives you a lot cleaner arrow flight as long as you got your form down pat and you're not jerking around with your bow arm or plucking with your release. If you do everything as best as you can, it will glide off air a lot better and not contact as much of the shelf as it would without it. I think it gives it better airflight, in my opinion. I did that with a lot of them where I couldn't quite get my arrows to tune, and I started adding that, and it started helping. Where I was kind of close, I was still kind of off, but then that kind of helped me along with the tuning process. And so I know, you know, that I've got minimal contact. So if I do everything I'm supposed to do, it'll shoot off air really, really good compared to going across the whole shelf. So I mean, these older Bear Grizzlies, you know, you can see about how wide that shelf's, roughly 2.5 inches long, and I guess the way they designed them was for a cant, so you're putting inside that little V there. I still cant my bow even with a radius shelf, and you know, with adding that piece, it's really going to clean up some air flight, which just kind of raises it up a little bit. It will change your knock height a tiny bit, so it depends on how thick a piece you put in there. I try not to go no more than what I have to, just enough to raise it up where it only contacts just a minimal part of the shelf. So that's a little tip there. If you've got a bow that's got a flat shelf, and you know, it may fly pretty good, but you know, if you want to get a little bit better, try that and see if how that works for you. I know it's worked well for me, and if I had any other bows that had flat shells, I set them up the same way, except for I'm trying to get more back to the bear hair and leather side plate, but you can still do that with the bear hair. You can add a toothpick in there. I mean, if you shoot the IBO, I think they require wood, and you can only build it up to so high, but usually like a toothpick size or a large toothpick size should be enough. Just check the rules before you do that, and you get down there and get into it. Somebody might call you out on it, but I ain't never really had an issue with it. Last year I did change my leather out and put the toothpick in there, so it works the same way. You don't have to use leather, you can use a toothpick, just anything just to raise it just a little bit and give you just a minimal amount of contact with that rug or that's on your shelf. So I hope that helps, and I hope y'all have a great day, and God bless.